Hey, good afternoon, senior parents. Wanted to touch base with you guys because we had a senior meeting yesterday, and I wanted to make sure that all the information was out there for you guys to be able to access in order to support your students as we get closer and closer to graduation 2024. So, again, congratulations on having a senior that made it this far. I know that not only have the students worked very hard to get to where they are, but you as parents and guardians have supported them along the way. There's going to be a lot of laughters and tears along that way. I also have a senior, so I understand and I can definitely sympathize and empathize with you guys. So very excited for you guys on this journey, but we want to go ahead and keep you in the loop with communication. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of go over what we went over with the students yesterday very briefly, so if you guys can have your questions answered directly from us rather than relying solely on your kiddos. Again, I have an 18-year-old son, so I know that's not always the most reliable source. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So a couple of things that we told the students yesterday, day of graduation. In the graduation handbook, which your students will have access to in time, it will state that your student must be in dress code, and that's a graduation attire dress code. That is not school dress code. I think some of them got confused with that yesterday. But in order to walk across the stage, they must be in dress code. Again, that's the appropriate dress code. That's the dresses and the slacks and the appropriate shoes. The big thing there is really honestly what we're concerned about, and what we'll notice more is, our hair color needs to make sure it's the natural color hair. The facial piercings can't be there. We need to make sure that we're not wearing any kind of hats or anything like that. But it's important that, for the most part, they follow traditional graduation dress code. It's really not difficult to do. If you have any questions on that, please let us know, and we can help you approve anything if there's something that you have a question about specifically. Sunglasses is another part of that as well, making sure that students are not wearing sunglasses during graduations. That also includes being in dress code for senior events when senior events take place throughout the remainder of this year. One of the things I did tell the students, and I wanted to kind of tell you guys as we move into the next part of that, is that what I explained to the students is that graduation is about them, but for you guys. And so the reason I say that like that, and again, it's because it is about their success. It's about celebrating the success of the student. But really, it's also about honoring and recognizing and giving you as the parent and the guardian and as the family the opportunity to see your child or students walk across that stage and be celebrated. And so we wanted to make sure that we impress that upon the students, that this isn't the time to act silly. This isn't the time to stand out necessarily. This isn't the time to do anything outlandish, because it is about everybody in that facility and on that stage and in that room that we're honoring and celebrating. And so this isn't the time to do something crazy and different. This is the time to honor your family just as much as we're celebrating you. And so I just wanted to go ahead and tell you guys that I told them that as well. So that way we can make sure that this is a very upstanding and elegant ceremony, so that you guys will have a memory for a lifetime that we can be proud of in Crandall High School. So the next thing Ms. Cox talked about was FAFSA. FAFSA is the form that they need to fill out in order to graduate as well, and that's for college. Again, we've had a FAFSA night. We have opportunities in the Google Classroom. There's YouTubes. It's a state requirement for graduation. So if your student has not done and filled out the FAFSA, then they need to go ahead and do that. And that's even regardless of whether they're going to go to college or not. There is an opt-out. I believe there is an opt-out option as well, but you would need to contact Ms. Cox. If you have any questions, you can email her at kcox@crandall-isd.net. So again, making sure your students are filling out the FAFSA form. Just a reminder, as we roll into the fourth quarter, attendance matters and it impacts your credits. So 90% rule, you don't want to miss a lot of school and then all of a sudden you aren't eligible to graduate because you're going to lose a credit because you didn't meet the 90% rule. So remember that your attendance matter and your grades matter. So you got to get your grades up to get the credits, and we got to make sure that your attendance is in the 90%, meaning you're here 90% of the time. And that includes excused absences, that includes doctor's notes, all the things. So you have to make sure you're here so that you can get that credit. We don't want to scramble at the last minute trying to make up credits because one of your students was not in attendance enough. If you have any questions about your attendance, you can contact their administrator. We will have senior semester exams the week of May 13th, and this is going to be posted in the Google Classroom for the students. It'll be the week of May 13th for senior exams, so please make sure you're marking your calendar so that your students are well prepared for those exams. For some students, that could make or break whether they get to graduate or not. We'll have graduation practice on May 20th, and then the day of graduation is actually May 22nd. We'll also have a Chromebook turn-in. Stay tuned for that information as we get closer to the end of the year. Okay, we have a senior activity day on April 18th. The students will meet in the pit at 7:30 a.m. And that's pretty normal. We have that activity. There's going to be a Google form that's posted in the Google Classroom after spring break for the students to vote on their top 3 options. There's going to be more information in the Google Classroom as we get closer to the end of spring break. So have your students kind of paying attention to that Google Classroom so that they can vote on their top 3 activities. Again, Monday, May 20th, we will have graduation practice. The location is going to be CHS at the back of the gym at 7:30 a.m. They will come in at CHS. You'll find your assigned seat in the back of the gym. And then once we get into the actual practice, we'll be at Curtis Colwell Center. So on May 20th, we'll get on the bus. We'll traverse to the Colwell Center in Garland. And then we'll return around 1 o'clock for them to be dismissed. On May 22nd, the day of graduation, we'll have the graduation walk and a group senior picture and individual picture. Again, we'll meet in the gym, at the back of the gym at 7:30 a.m. If you want that individual picture, if the student doesn't want the individual picture, then they can be in the group picture, which we plan on having at 8:15 a.m. You're going to arrive on that day on the 22nd in cap and gown. We'll take the pictures, and then we're going to leave the purses and the bags in the vehicle. And then you want to leave them in their vehicle, and then we're going to ride the bus to the different campuses that the students will choose. And then we'll travel back to school we'll travel back to the school after we're done, and they'll be able to go home and get ready for graduation. If they need to stay, you'll be able to stay in the cafeteria until 3:45. So those are the things that you can do. And that's the day of graduation. So they'll come in, we'll take the pictures, we'll leave our stuff secured, locked up, then we'll get on the bus, travel to the different campuses throughout CISD, then we'll come back, and then they can go home and get ready for graduation. And then if they need to, they can stay in the cafeteria at 3:45. Okay? All right, May 22nd, again, that is the day of graduation. You will meet again at the CHS gym, meet at 3:45. They'll find their seats again. It's the same thing from when we practiced the Tuesday before. And then after the graduation ceremony, you'll be able to be released back. We'll ride a bus out there, and then after graduation ceremony, you'll be able to release to your parents. If you need to ride back, please make sure you let us know so that we can prepare for buses to be able to bring students back, as many as we need to. All right, if you guys haven't ordered your cap and gowns for your students, not too late. There is a basic package that just includes the cap and gowns. You'll need to go to jostens.com. Again, this information is located in the Google Classroom, so you should be able to find the link there. But it's not too late to order the cap and gowns, and if you haven't done that, make sure you do that. Okay, so I got 2 more quick things. I know it's been a little bit long, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to make sure you got all the information. One thing I left out at the very beginning was cell phones. During graduation, we will not allow students to use cell phones during graduation. We want, again, a very elegant and prestigious ceremony, and so we want to make sure that students are not taking their cell phones across the stage. We want them to go ahead, and that's not just a CISD thing. I think that's part of Curtis Colwell's program, if I understand correctly. But also, it's just about the presentation. It's about the pomp and circumstance that is for the students and for you guys as family members. So not a big deal. It's just a few hours. Everybody's going to be right there and safe and secure. All right, last but not least, and I've gotten emails about this already because some of your students did go home and tell you right away. Right now, every senior will receive 10 tickets to graduation. That's the baseline number will be 10 tickets for graduation. These are going to be given to you sometime in April. We'll have a date come out, and we'll give you more information when it comes out, the approximate date. There is going to be an opportunity to request additional tickets, and that date and time is to be determined. So initially, every student will get 10 tickets, and then we'll have a second round where students will be able to request additional tickets. So I know that's a little bit of a change from previous years, but as graduation classes get bigger, that's going to happen because the capacity and with the number of students, they don't change as well. So just keeping that on the forefront, 10 tickets initially, and then there is going to be an opportunity to request additional tickets after we do the first round of 10 tickets. All right, guys, we'll have a meeting each month in order to keep those students on track. Please do me a favor. Remind the students to finish this year out strong. They have one more quarter to go, roughly 6 to 7 weeks if you think about it, because the last couple weeks is for senior fun and activities. We want to make sure they make good decisions, make smart decisions, because this is the time. This is not the time for them to slack and make mistakes and slip up. So stay on top of them, celebrate them, enjoy every minute you can, because this is a great moment. This is a great opportunity, and we're excited to be able to host your graduation and take care of your students and send them off into the real world, so to speak. So congratulations again. If you guys have any questions, please, feel free to contact us at any time. You guys have a great spring break. Thank you.